For those of you who watch my content long enough, you have that suspicion every time, you're engaging with the things that I actually say regarding the different ecosystems. Many of you know that I'm a PC gamer, and you also know I've played on PlayStation as kind of like my console of choice for the most part, even though these days the PlayStation is gathering dust. I mean, even the Xbox, and it's by, choice and preference. However, whenever I talk about the PC ecosystem, it's one of those things where I notice that many console players, they put their guard up. I understand. You have pride. You enjoy the platform you play on. And to be honest, I'm not really interested in prying you away from your platform. However, I want to go ahead and talk about something that I think is very interesting. This article was actually shown to me by Everborn. Shout out to him for actually pointing this stuff out. And I've also seen some other people in the comment section as well, basically letting me know, hey man, you need to check out this article. It's it's one that's going to be shaking, I think, a lot of the trees and the foundations built by people in this ecosystem and the conversations. Now, I got to tell you, the console warriors on Twitter are not too happy about this. This report that says PC games are outselling console games, calling PC a bright spot in a troubled industry, is immediately flagged by Oliver Darko here on Twitter. I don't know who this is. I'm just going to be, pointing out what people are saying in this video. That's not very difficult when only 15% of all PC game sales come from newly released title. Then he put the some PC Gamer article here that says only 15% of Steam users' time was spent playing games released in 2024. Now, the article talked about the year-end review that showed how much time was spent playing the old games and the new games. It never talked about the games purchased. Now, whether or not, they were purchasing old games or new games, I think the main thing, Oliver, that you're missing is there's the backlog. Many PC gamers carry a backlog that you can't even think about. Like, just my Epic Games backlog and the amount of money that I haven't even spent on it is insane. They give out games very free, very cheap on a PC platform. It's just dumb, stupid in a good way, if you get what I mean. So again, that's one thing you have to say. And again, I think the reality here was that when we looked at this data set, we understood that a lot of new games, in the way that we see them from the gamer side, are not appealing to many PC gamers. I can almost, if we looked at console, I don't know what we're going to find, but I won't be shocked if on console, this is also a similar behavior for players who aren't necessarily playing the live service games. Cole Eastwood says, PlayStation and Xbox, let's put our games on PC. That's so 2018, Colt. I made that video a while ago. Someone should tell Rockstar that. And this is exactly what I wanted to come to, actually. So I basically took you through all of that just to pretty much walk to the GTA side of the conversation. I've made some of the most outlandish claims about GTA 6. I think that game is not going to stay too long on console alone. The adoption of the console platform and the console generation right now has been something that's been somewhat weird. Also, the saturation of the market has also been somewhat weird, while PC has grown like the freaking Incredible Hulk on some steroid. Looking at this, I've always wondered, how is Rockstar going to take the approach of saying we're going to concentrate on console first, and then maybe sometime down the road we're going to basically go on PC? They will give so much ground to everybody else that's going to be launching games at that time on PC that they're going to be rejoicing. In fact, I am almost happy enough as someone who's looking at this from the outside to see how this plays out for them. Because, over the years, they've been pretty much what I think is one of the biggest, in terms of sales for pieces of entertainment. However, I think that their bluff is due, to be called without any problems, if you get what I mean. Like, this is the time that Rockstar needs to really go ahead and understand that this industry doesn't care who you are. I see a lot of gamers screaming and shouting, oh, GTA 6 is going to sell, blah, blah, blah. Dude, let this economy just continue the way it is for like another 18 months. And you're going to see this game on PC so fast. You won't even believe it. I saw a calendar here of some sort that somebody used to basically put a timeline. This is by Radek. They show Rockstar's game development from about 1998-ish, 99, all the way through 2019. And if you notice, they used to make a lot of games, but once GTA money started to, flow in, man, it was just maybe a little bit more GTA, a few more games here and there. And then once they hit that GTA 5 stride, that was it. They basically did not make many games. They concentrated on Red Dead Redemption 2, possibly the online side, and then they've just taken so long, all their time, all their effort to make GTA 6. You know what's crazy, ladies and gentlemen? All this time being taken and to not have a PC port, in my opinion, is the biggest example of lack of efficiency. And I got to say it that way. It's not you guys' first time making a big, massive game. Get the heck out of here with that. Oh, they want the game to be this, and this, and this. What kind of game do you make that leaves what I think is your biggest potential market out because you want to what? Bring it on console first? Or according to some people that are putting out the conspiracy, they want to double dip. They want people to double dip. Okay, if that's a business strategy, the strategy of, waiting for people to double dip, well, I hope that they're actually able to find something there. But I don't think that's a good business strategy. But who am I? I'm just the guy with the microphone in a little corner. This person says makes more sense, more games, and cheaper. X1 the Gamer says it's almost like Sony and Microsoft putting their games on PC makes sense. I muted this account. I don't know who they are. But I was told by the cancer of gaming, PS fanboys, that PC players don't buy games. Well, PlayStation players say that all the time. I think they're just looking for something to say, in many cases. Like one of them today, which I will make a dedicated video for. I haven't gotten a response from the last communication that we had because I think they checkmated themselves. And it was just, it was one of those very interesting things. This person here, John Della Rose, says because consoles have no exclusives, so no one buys them. I don't understand. This one says Spider-Man 2 dropping on the 30th. PC gamers have always been the backbone of gaming. I don't disagree with you. I know, it sounds weird, but, if you've played on console so much and all, yeah, it's weird to hear. Now, I have to say this, though. In all fairness, there are communities and concentrations. Like for fighting games, if you want to get the concentration of fighting games communities, you got to be on PlayStation. That's just where the FGC lives. And as somebody who plays fighting games, I am so thankful that there's crossplay, bro, because MK11 on PC, the way they left it with their crossplay beta, that PC community dried up real fast. There was just no way, you could basically call that game a viable prospect in, on the PC platform. Somebody put a PC Master Race big shiny thing here. Okay, this person said PC Gamer Master Race. Sure. No subscription model. It's that simple. Not surprising, to be honest. PC is superior in every way. It doesn't take much brain power to figure that out. Well, people disagree. Now, whether or not I agree, I'm not going to say anything. Everyone's already suspicious anyways watching this video. What's gaming on? Bring back physical copy games. I want to own the game, not rent it. Okay, go to good old games. You get the offline installers. Mods are the last hope to cure the insane DEI cancer games. Man, people be throwing stuff out there. I see the amount of people that just read the headline and didn't read the article is pretty vast. They also cite a report that says the opposite of what the headline says. Good article, and makes you wonder why two analysts get different results because of the Chinese market. That's where they kind of countered to it. And the other article that they cited was not really an article. It was a report on a, let's click the link to the article. It was a report on possible projections for 2023, which was weird. I thought, when they cited the report, I clicked it and I was very surprised. I was like, yeah, this is it right here. Newzoo reported. But when we read Newzoo's report, and I think we need to read this actually. Yeah, let's do that. Let's get all academic up in here if we can. The PC and console markets are having their best year to to date. When was this published? August 31st, 2023. together, PC and consoles will generate revenues of $95.2 billion in 2023, or 51% of the entire games market. These revenues will be driven by 892 million players on PC, 629 million on console. Disappearing from platform boundaries, cross-platform play and significant content offerings on each platform would also drive many players to play across both PC and console segments. In this article, we spotlight PC and console growth and explore an exciting new trend in the market, the growth and market impact of complementary devices like Steam Deck, Rogue Ally, PlayStation Portal. For a complete overview, blah, 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 blah. Okay, 2022 was slower than expected. Despite some big releases, major studios are launching new entries to successful franchises, Baldur's Gate 3, all of this stuff. The pandemic forced AAA games industry to delay releases even further. Blockbuster hits that were meant to launch in the last 3 years are coming out in 2023 instead. Then, diverse business and delivery models and content mean more choices for players. So, browser PC games, 1.9 billion, 16, which dropped 16%, 17% year over year. Console games got a boost of $56 billion, which was 7.4 increase year over year. Downloaded boxed PC games is 37 billion, which is 1.6% year over year, and mobile games $92.6 billion year over year. Guys, if Gen Z, both alpha and beta, dial into their cell phones, the other parts of the industry just need watch out very carefully. They need to really reevaluate how they do business, because it's going to be insane. Look at mobile game revenues. Now, when you look at it, though, even though this was up 1% in terms of the downloaded / boxed PC games, I don't even know what that would all include. Maybe we'll need to find a place for it. You realize that that's actually more than half of the console category, even though it grew little. So even in the previous year, it was actually just as big, because it only grew 1%, is already more than half, if not, yeah, it's more than half of this number here, this 56 billion, and this 56 billion grew 7%. So that's crazy. Or, for just one platform, which is basically a very ubiquitous platform, to basically decimate the consoles. This also says huge AAA releases and live ops content aren't the only factors driving success for PC gaming. While PC gaming performance is not quite on the same level as console, the two segments have similar success and growth drivers. Third-party live service games like Fortnite, Roblox, Rocket League with consistent seasonal content and enticing in-game purchases continue to engage players and their wallets. This now says, why is console performing better than PC despite so many similarities with the game segments? Console and PC share many of the same ingredients for success this year. So why is the overall PC games market growing only marginally at 0.5 a year on year to hit 39.1 billion? One factor is that PC browser games are continuing to lose players and revenues to the mobile segment. Do you see how you need to read very carefully into this to kind of see what really is going on? That's crazy. Browser games, so PC gamers that are playing on the browsers are being lost to mobile. Do you all know who play on browsers? Does anybody know? Pop quiz. Who plays on browsers? Youngins. Youngins. Man, that's crazy. This year, browser PC games will see a 16.9 year-on-year drop to 1.6 billion. Even when we remove PC browser games, we find that digital box revenues will grow just 1.6% year-on-year in 2023. The reasoning is clear. PC lacks many of the first-party exclusives that help PlayStation and Nintendo stand out, including The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Marvel Spider-Man 2. While Xbox launches games simultaneously on PC, Game Pass, PlayStation launches its first-party single-player titles on PC years later. That's changing, actually. Now, here's the thing, though. If this is a combination of all three, I thought this was a combination of all two, but if it's a combination of all three, and PC by itself is basically at this amount, then all this article is alluding to is just the growth. It's 1v3. The heck? That's still ginormous. PC ports have seen less than stellar optimization this year, leading likelihoods on platform agnostic players to opt for the console versions of third-party games. I'm not going to lie. Yes, there have been some PC ports that have seen bad optimization at launch. This is the reality. However, they make it sound like it's a lot. It's not. It's just majority of them are AAA games with big names and big marketing behind them. And what's crazy is if there was one of those games I was looking forward to, but it was a 2023 game. It was the Jedi Survivor. And thankfully, Game Pass put it out there. And I played the game on Game Pass. I eventually bought it on Game Pass, which is crazy. But then I realized I also bought the other Star Wars game on all platforms just because I enjoyed it so much. PlayStation timed exclusivity like Final Fantasy 16 and co-marketing deals, Hogwarts Legacy are likely pushing revenues from this content away from PC and towards the console segment. Well, possibly, but again, they withheld revenue from console, but their own publishers are saying that the revenue targets weren't met. So timed exclusivity, it bit someone. I don't think PC bothered. I mean, still doing their own thing. Console gaming is more accessible. Consumers typically opt for consoles to re-enter the market, a trend we saw in full effect during lockdowns and when non-gamers picked up a console to fulfill their witchcraft and wizardry fantasies in Hogwarts Legacy. That said, PC revenues remain stable, and esports and increasing number of mobile developers looking to PC to offset the privacy changes will bolster PC revenues in 2023 and beyond. The roughly 10 million new PC players that enter the market each year, oh my gosh, will also boost the PC engagement and spending. Finally, there's one trend that's very vogue right now across the PC and console markets. Complementary devices like the Steam Deck and Rogue Ally and Asus ROG. Engagement bumps from handheld PCs like Steam Deck and its content are contributing to PC revenues this year. And this was written around this time. And man, only if they knew that we now have more. Complementary devices are a noticeable gaming trend in 2023. Nintendo launched the Switch in 2027, shaking up the console market with a hybrid approach to gaming that gave consumers the ability to play at home or on the go without having to purchase several devices. 6 years later, plenty of manufacturers and platform holders are working on ways to allow players to take their console and games to other screens. Mobile functionality for cloud gaming services, native crossplay, dedicated cloud gaming, local Wi-Fi remote play, and native handheld portable gaming. The last 3 points show complementary devices are intended to be secondary to consumers' primary gaming devices. For example, Portal, blah, 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 and blah, blah, blah. Wow. I think the bubble had always burst in this regard, but the reality is here. There's an entire side to gaming that a lot of people aren't really aware of. And how Rockstar is going to navigate in this market where they've been comfortable, in a sense, counting on the fact that a lot of people are going to play on, consoles. Now, things are much more complicated. Are they going to stick with that stance? Or is that something that at the end of the day, they're going to basically make adjustments as quickly as possible? Because they have a lot of time to make their game, and a lot of changes happen as they're making their game. We shall see. Thanks so much for listening to this long form analysis. I appreciate your time and audience. Talk to me in the comment section if you have anything that you wish to add, and I'll talk to you hopefully in another video. Peace out.